JSNIP4. Secret undisclosed location. Jean-Claude, David were on a secret mission, wives included. And if you know where I am, don't say it. But it's been a while since we talked about Italy. Do you guys remember the Webbot talking about Italy, banking problems, debt problems, it's coming? And there was a spout of news about it, a good bit of news about it. And it kind of settled down, right? When was the last time Snippy came out to talk about Italy, banking problems and whatnot, right? The EU zone, there's issues, but where's the stories? We know it's there. Well, here's one. Italy on verge of inducing fresh European crisis. From where? Zero Hedge. Tired or maybe bored of worrying about the rising interest rates, a rising dollar, and higher oil prices? Then fear not, because according to Bloomberg, macro strategist and former Lehman Brothers trader Mark Cudmore, you can now start worrying about a new, or rather well forgotten, as I mentioned, we forgot about it, didn't we? Potential risk flashpoint, namely Italy, which, as he writes in his latest macro view note overnight, is, quote, on the verge of inducing a fresh European crisis. Fragile. Huh. Must be Italian. No, honey, I think that says fragile. Oh, yeah. Italy on verge of inducing a fresh European crisis. It may be time to move on from rising treasury yields and trade wars. An Italian-led euro crisis is on the verge of becoming the dominant theme for markets. Turns out that the euro breakup trade isn't dead. It's just been hibernating and is likely to return with a vengeance in the months ahead if the populace gets their way. Their proposed economic policies make no attempt at debt sustainability. Italy already has the largest absolute debt pile in the entire European Union, and the second largest after Greece as a percentage of GDP, at a whopping 132% debt to GDP. Whoa. As we once heard Bon Jovi say, whoa, 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 whoa. Italy used to be under 100%. Sheeple been on strike. They're down on their luck. It's tough. Oh, it's tough. 132% debt to GDP? How do you suppose this is going to end? Bet it'll end really well. The coalition's plan sends the signal that it has no intention of ever paying back its debt. Things could spiral quickly because of fiscal promises will send yields much higher, adding to refinancing costs and making the budgetary situation far worse. Again, my friends, I think crypto's our way out of this stuff. All these fees and all these things are going to levy against everybody to and in their case, hell, it looks like they're ready to just default on the damn debt, start a new currency. But any kind of problems that arise financially because of the decisions of these people, and I say people as in politicians everywhere, you could help lessen that effect by holding on to some cryptocurrencies. Ask the people of Venezuela, anybody in Venezuela, if they just had one Bitcoin or even one Litecoin right now at 135 whatever dollars. Ask them how much that actually equals in Venezuela right now. They've had thousands of % of inflation. Unbelievable. But that's in their own country's currency, right? So if they had something else, like they were sitting on gold or silver even, and their currency hyperinflates, doesn't really affect them all that much. Same thing with cryptos. They had cryptos. Same thing is applied. Anyways, that creates a dilemma for the EU. And by the way, take a look at this little bond. It's the 2-year bond yield. Let's see if we can get a little picture of that. Look at that chart. See at the very end over here? Whoa. That's what cryptos do in the day a lot of time. Oh, it's up 20%. Whoa. No, that's not something you want to see when it comes to bond yields and whatnot. Honestly, that's a telltale sign you got some problems coming. Anyways, that creates a dilemma for the EU. Either fund Italy's largesse at the expense of every other member country, or kick Italy out of the Eurozone. The first option isn't sustainable. This isn't a relatively containable problem like Greece. Italy's economy is almost 10 times the size of Greece's and the third largest in the Eurozone. The pigs, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, and Spain, were only ever a problem as a group because of concerns that the contagion would infect Italy. And this isn't just a sovereign debt problem. Italy's banks have been by far the most non-performing loans they have in the Eurozone, more than a quarter of the total. A section of the plan makes it harder for banks to repossess collateral, further deteriorating the value of those loans. Although I'll be honest, I like that idea. These banks can't take back stuff because of the problems that they created, which then caused you not to be able to pay it back. They get bailed out by the government, so they get the money, and they get the effing asset. Nah, how about we keep the asset this time? I kind of like that idea, to tell you the truth. Didn't know that was the case in Italy. And it's not just a sovereign debt problem. Italy's banks have by far, again, most non-performing loans in the Eurozone, more than a quarter of the total. A section of the plan makes it harder for banks to repossess collateral, further deteriorating the value of those loans. So while the policy platform doesn't explicitly state an intention to leave the euro, the new government plan, if instituted as is, makes that the inevitable endgame. Fortunately, the Italian constitution forbids an excessive budget deficit, so it may act as a limiting force. However, the concern is whether they can circumvent those restrictions by selecting favorable economic projections. The proposal already seems to be stealthily planning for euro departure, with a plan to issue short-term debt contracts to pay back arrears. As my colleague Ferdinando Giuliano, or is that Giuliano? Yeah, it's a G. It's Giuliano. That's how you say that. Suggests on Friday, that's the first step towards a parallel currency. Did you catch that? Parallel currency. EU currency and an Italian currency. Because we can pay back debt with this new currency. So Italy's prospective rulers seem to be fully aware of the endgame and are already planning for it. And one final parting word he says to investors: investors will soon need to catch up. And another day in the life of modern history, modern times. Used to do videos about this stuff all the time. And you're probably wondering, well, man, nothing's really happened. I mean, we didn't really see some kind of big breakdown or, things kept going. Well, let's not forget, like we have a Federal Reserve over here that just prints money and bails out things and pays for things, unbeknownst to us, until we find out later how many trillions of dollars went out. Well, the EU has their European Central Bank. And this whole time, even when our Fed slowed down and kind of stopped that, they kind of turned it up a couple notches. We'll buy back all these bank bonds. We'll buy up stocks. We'll just buy up everything. Keep this thing chugging along. But the problem is, like our government, or our Fed in this case, when they buy it, whether they print the money out of thin air or not, there's interest attached to every loan. So all that money they're printing over there, why do you think the GDP, debt to GDP ratio of Italy, amongst others, whatever it said, 132%. And in case you're wondering, because I've said this before, just to remind you, when any country's debt to GDP ratio gets to 100%, that's pretty much the no turning back sign. We either deal with this problem now or we go forward. And if we deal with the problem now, it's going to be painful. And we, crooked politicians, want to get reelected. So we're just going to tell you everything's going to be fine. We're going to actually sing it to you. Ooh, child, things are going to get easier. Ooh, child, things... No, actually, no, they're not. They're going to make you think they are. But when you go to the grocery store, man, that's expensive. When I oh, there's Dave. Dave. He Dave. Dave, do the video, babe. He's not looking though. That's the point of no return, 100%. The point of no return. So when you're in the 100 and something range, it's finished. And by the way, one of our friends here, Jean Claude, always love yelling Jean-Philippe. Jean-Philippe! Like I'm Chef Ramsay. Jean-Philippe! Jean-Claude. Good loving people. Him and his wife, Sarah. So anyways, they're in a bit of the same boat in Canada. We were having a discussion last night at dinner, all of us, about their healthcare situation. Well, you guys get it for free. And he's like, oh yeah, but they have this rule now. You make over like $68,000 a year, and you're getting taxed 50% of your income. 50%. Oh yeah. After $68,000 a year, something like that. He's like, yep. Whoa. You know, everyone loves. Oh, but they got free healthcare. They're getting half their effing money. Imagine, doing well for yourself. You make $500,000 a year. I'm doing well for myself, man. I'm doing, worked hard all my life. Yeah. Oh, 250. That's gone. See ya. No thanks. That's Canada, but they're also in that same situation of debt, massively debt. And he was telling us last night that the people in Canada, he's like 48 or 49%, something ridiculously high, have to use credit cards in addition in order to get things done, get things paid. Their income doesn't do it. So, again, I'm telling you, markets are down, cryptos are down. It's going to be the one saving grace when all this stuff blows up. I don't even want to know where the prices are going to be when this stuff really gets dealt with. Take care.